you people back in the Shire. Turn your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.
Hey there, welcome to SharkCast, a podcast dedicated to the greatest sporting club in the history of the world. Not so mighty tonight, not so great tonight, but this next episode you're going to hear is brought to you by Dyson Logistics, the Royal Yacht Club in Port Hacking, and Jason Hawes at Cripps & Cripps Real Estate. A little bit of admin for you due to the way the night has panned out, responsibilities, requirements, etc. It happened to be that Dan Nichols from Fins Up got in touch with me about doing a post-game show. I was able to jump on for a short time. What you're going to hear in a few seconds is the audio of that. And it's just Dan and myself talking about the game that was. Got to try and bleep out a few little curse words that crept in on my behalf, not his. And we're going to make that available for SharkCast tonight. That'll be the short, sharp review and back to business during the week. Lots of mail coming in. Keep it coming, sharkcastpod@gmail.com. Keep it above the belt. It'll get read out. Can't wait to get into it. Big week ahead. A lot to talk about. Tigers in a week's time. Must win. I'm not happy about tonight, and you'll hear about that with Dan. I was sitting without my microphones, just talking into a phone. So the audio is not amazing, but it's perfectly fine. You'll hear me talk. You'll understand me, and I hope you guys understand that's what's going on tonight. Hope that's cool with everyone. Back into it as soon as we can. Stay strong. Up, up.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this quickly, hastily thrown together post-match. You can see the shake of the head. We've brought two podcasting, I won't say legends, I'll say long-suffering Sharks fans together. Where are you right now, mate?
Part of me wants to say about to drive off a bridge, but I'm not going to be that dramatic. I'll give everyone a tip. Don't start a podcast about your favourite team. It only breaks your heart and fills your inbox.
It does, mate. That's where all these grey hairs come from. You can see the hair jumping out of my head. I'm
22 years old, man.
We have nothing planned. We're just going to see where this goes. Anyone who comments, anyone who wants to jump on, let me know. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. Mate, what are your feelings just after, what we just saw? Everyone saw it.
I don't want to be boring, but the lesson is what we all know. Those starts are killing us. We're off our game so much now that we can't come back and win the games we were doing earlier in the year. Just can't do it, man. I was working on the game and we had, 6 possessions in the opening 20 or something? Opening 10. It was crazy. And some of it was, I guess, unavoidable. Some of it was avoidable. The Talakai sin bin, the 6 agains, the penalties, short dropouts, some of them genius. Don't do it every time. Go long. I just thought they kind of fell into this hole, Dan, and they couldn't get out. And second half, they almost got out, and it would have I don't even think it would have glossed over everything. We just would have all had a sigh of relief, but it wasn't meant to be. And they just can't keep doing it, Dan. I don't know. I know people are going to blame staff and players and that kind of thing. I honestly think they're all in it together. What is happening with those 20 minutes? I don't get it. I'm at a loss.
Well, mate, full disclosure, the reason you're here is because I'm like this, and you always just a little bit temper me down because there were other people, i.e. my housemate, who would have just driven me off the actual edge. Yeah. But for the opening 20 minutes, full disclosure, I left work late. I was on the train. I logged in at Ginali, and by the time I got to Miranda, we hadn't touched the ball once. Yeah. Not once.
Yeah.
We all said the start's absolutely key. Vossi made the joke, at least we can't drop the ball off the first set because we don't have it this time. And Cam McInnes gives away a penalty. From there, 7 minutes later, we're 6-0 down. And, it's not game over, of course, but you're like, oh, geez, here we go again. We saw Royce Hunt brought in to give that oomph in the front. Didn't touch the ball for 8 minutes, almost scored on his first or second touch. Dropped the ball. I still haven't seen that, by the way. I'm literally just catching up on the first 20 now.
Yeah.
I came in and I saw it was 12-0 and Talakai was just running onto the field. And my thinking was, what the hell? How are we still in this? Yep. At half-time, though, we should have been up by 2 tries. We just kept blowing tries, just couldn't get it done.
Yeah, so good point, Dan. I mean, at half-time, I was stoked because it was only 12-0. And if we're first to score any points at all second half, I think we're on. They got the penalty goal. But the Titans should have been up. A better team would have been up by 30, and that's no exaggeration. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we just keep blowing those leads early. I know we're practicing not to do it. I've seen them at training. They're not dicking around. It's all hard work. They're working their butts off to get out of this. I think we will get out of it. That's the good news. But what sort of damage we do along the way, maybe you say goodbye to top 4. I don't know. If you keep, we got Tigers next week. That's no pushover, man. That's must wins. Next week's must win.
Absolutely. I'll get to the comments in a section. Sam can't stay forever, so I'll go to those after he's back on the way. Look, at halftime, we're 12-0 down, and I'm thinking the same. Oh, good. To the Gold Coast Titans, who are, apart from the game where they blew the Warriors off the park 2 weeks ago, are not a good football team. They're the sort of team you look at and think, oh, cool, there's 2 points. And we're celebrating not being more than 12-0 down at halftime. I think that shows where we're at right now.
Yes, absolutely. Like a colleague of mine said, well, you almost won with having no reason to win that game. That's pretty good. And I went, that's not going to get us higher on the ladder. Sticking around, showing a bit of conviction towards the end of the game. The attack has gone downhill. I don't really know what's happened there. They've lost, I don't know if it's a confidence thing, because some of the attack, like the Hail Marys at the end, looked pretty good. They almost pulled it off. But I just feel like they're in this slump and they need to get out of it as soon as they can. I think you just got to keep turning up the training, turning up. It's a cliche. I know that's what I'm here for, but there's no other way out. There's no other way out. You can say, sack this guy, sack that guy. It doesn't matter. It's a team effort in losing 5 out of 6 games. Team effort, Dan.
I'll tell you, there are a lot of comments that I'll get to in a minute. Thanks. Keep them coming. I'm going to read all of them, good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
There is a lot of calls for certain players to be dropped. We saw Toby Rudolph pay the price for a horrible game last week. Yep. Perfectly. I want to get your thoughts, because it's very, very clear, very on record that Terry and I both said Fitzgibbon's the way forward. Sir Fitz, he's going to deliver the next premiership. I'm waning. I'm waning big time, to the point where I looked at that team tonight and thought, okay, Atkinson on the wing, I get it. No worries. I'm okay with that, circumstantially. But you look at the way that Kayliro is absolutely darted out of the game in the attacking half. Maybe we saw why, because he had a 1-on-none and didn't pass the ball. So maybe that's why. We knew that was coming. This crash play BS from Blake Brayley is just doing my head in. And this creating a 3-on-2, Kennedy finally does an overlap and we hit a bloke running on the inside, gets smashed, loses the ball more often than not. They cannot be training for this, right? That's just got to be how to put this. I'm trying not to get censored by YouTube.
Yeah, they're not training that way at all. On Fitzgibbon, everyone who listens to my show knows I'm a big fan. I still am. I'm not waning, because I look at the errors they're doing in those opening 20 minutes. What's he supposed to do? I don't know what he's supposed to do to change that. Why can't Sifa Talakai, who's my man, why doesn't he know how to tackle? That's not on the coach. That's on him getting too aggressive. And I'm a huge fan of Talakai. Little things like that. Drop balls, 6 agains. He's not telling him to do that. He's not coaching him to do that. He can't pick 17 new guys every week as much as the fans want him to do that. On the selections this week, you saw it, man. Tom Rodwell was next man up, and he's not ready. So that's why Atco was on the wing. Didn't go particularly good. Didn't go the way I thought it would. That's just lack of, player depth, I guess. That they're kind of running out of troops there, which happens occasionally. But, yeah, on the coach, I'm not waning just yet. I know you look at the general results, and I can see why you would be. 5 out of the last 6, I get it. But... Yeah. I think him and Nico are here long term, so people probably need to get used to that.
Why you bring that up? There was a tweet during the week where said that he spoke to someone close to Nico Hines and that Nico wanted out of Cronulla. I just want to put that to bed right now. We had a laugh about it. Any bloke, I've done it before. I've tweeted someone close to, and people jumped in the DMs. I don't know anyone. I don't know anything about anyone. So let's park that. Let's talk about Nicho Hynes. I want your.
Sure.
I'm going to get as much out of you in the first 20. Then people that are waiting for the blow up, wait about 11 minutes, you'll get it. I made a suggestion a couple of weeks ago. I said to Terry, I would have sat him down after Origin for 2 weeks, either side of the bye, and said, he's got a calf injury, and told him to rest up. I see him come out and say, I can't wait to get into it. I'm this, I'm that, but I need to get away from the spotlight. I understand this. Then he goes and puts a podcast out during the week. I don't want to bag him, but it's getting very close to the point where at what point does he become his own worst enemy? If he's legitimately not the best of mind, 2 weeks would have done him the world of good. And if people want to bag him, turn off your social media, put the papers away. Who reads them anyways? Turn your NRL 360s off. Don't watch Rugby League Outlaws. Do watch Rugby League Outlaws. Just block it out. Take 2 weeks up the coast with your family and don't worry about football. What do you think?
I want to know, Dan, where he has said that he's not mentally okay to play football. There's people are seeing him make errors and being out of form, and they're going, he's mentally shook. I haven't heard anything from anyone within the camp say that he's remotely mentally unable to perform his duties. He's just in a slump, and he's not the Nicho that we know and love. I think it's complete, get ready for the Shinazzi swear word bullshit that, some kid puts out a tweet and you and I have to answer inbox after inbox for, taking up my precious time. And I say that lightly, precious. I'm not precious about my time. And all of a sudden, the whole world thinks he's not ready to play football. He wants out. He's not happy. There's never been a guy more suited to play at our club as far as off the field goes. He's perfectly happy. He's out of form. He needs to pick it up. He's our best player in theory. He's on the big bucks. He's signed long term. He's the halfback. He's the playmaker. Get it together, bro. I believe he will. There's nothing wrong with him. He's just not playing well. It's that simple, in my opinion only. That simple.
That's. I think the comments go back to last year where he said he was shook after the Origin debut and stuff.
That was last year.
I think a lot of it's been drawn in because he didn't have a good Origin. And I mean, if you're $1 million halfback, I go back to what I said the other week. If you're $1 million halfback, you've chosen this life. It's like me and you. If we get people in the street, a guy in Miranda met me the other week, said, I love your stuff, but my brother hates you. Okay, I put myself out there. I deserve that. Yeah. Probably if that was me, I probably wouldn't have said that my brother hates you bit, but that's on me. Nicho's $1 million halfback who's gone, he's everywhere, as he should be. He's still, Ronaldo's my favourite player. I love the bloke, right? But Nicho is probably the player that I want to do best because it helps us, and I'm very selfish in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how you take the pressure off him other than saying, Trindle, touch the ball 7 times a set, which is impossible. Every time Nicho touched the ball tonight, he looked lost. I know he scored a try, but that was all from Ronaldo and Kennedy and Atkinson. Nicho had the least amount to do there, and he scored the try, which, whatever. It's good for my super coach. Who cares? That's fantastic. I've seen people say you switch the 6 and the 7 and everything's fixed. I've heard put him to fullback and put Kennedy to 6, which is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
What do you think? Did you just write it out with Nicho?
Yeah, you write it out. He's paid the big bucks. He's got the talent. People don't know this. The morning after he missed the field goal the other week against the Bulldogs, guess where he was? Shark Park, practicing his field goals. He cares. He cares about the club. It's up to him to turn it around on the field. I understand we're all frustrated. I'm frustrated. I've sworn 3 times on my podcast. But, if this is happening in 2 years' time and he's not the guy for us and he signed a long-term deal, we need to look into it. But a 5-week slump, or however many weeks you want to call it, doesn't put a line through a bloke's career at a club. It's just, is it good enough? No. But, I don't know. People just seem so short-fused these days about everything, and I get it. We want him to win. No one wants him to win more than me. I thought tonight he was pretty average. Absolutely. But I don't think he's mentally unwell to play rugby league. And if he was, guess what? He wouldn't be playing. The club would not let him play, and he would be the first one to go, hey, I need a break. That's my opinion.
No, that's cool. Thanks again for the comments, guys. I'll get to him in 5 minutes, yeah. Shinazzi just booked very quick. He's got things to do. I don't. I'm very lucky in that regard. Will Kennedy, mate, I thought he was tremendous tonight. I thought he's been one of our best the last few weeks. But I don't think anyone can argue, myself included, that he's flying. do we stick with him? Because I'm a well-known Kay Dykes fan, and if he's fit, he's my number one moving forward. He can't stay fit though, so it's hypothetical. Liam Eason is banging doors down, very, very young, not ready yet. Couldn't play this week.
Yep.
At the end of the year, though, is that a discussion, or you're just nailed on? It's Kennedy.
Well, I don't understand what the problem is with Will. Like, you just said he had a good game, right?
Yeah, but overall, I wouldn't have him in the top 13 halfbacks in the competition, fullbacks in the competition.
Really?
Yeah, I can't. Like, Kinney, I would swap for him. Trey Fuller, who's a backup, I would swap for him. I like that David Armstrong's a good kid, but he'd probably be one, being that he's played like 3 games.
Yeah.
And he's their third string now that Fletcher Sharp's in.
I'd rather stick with Will and give Ison a chance to get ready in Cup and let them have a bit of a shootout for it. He's really good, this kid. I've seen him play Cup, seen him play kids, seen him train. He's legit. He's just a bit small at the moment, but he's legit. Not ready, as you said. I don't know, Dan. I'm not convinced the spine's our problem at the moment. They're not going great, but I feel like as a team, they're just like tonight. I'm Royce Hunt's biggest fan. He didn't do it for me.
You can't stop.
He didn't do it for me. He's a guy who is chasing some bucks and chasing a contract down the line. I don't think he's your starter, like you just said. I think that the issue lies more than just, I don't know. I just think that as a team, they've lost their mojo. I can't exactly tell you why. If the halves were firing a bit better, yeah, we'd be going a bit better too. But I don't know. Even both centers tonight were a bit kind of scratchy. They had moments of brilliance, moments of not brilliance. I just think team-wide, my man Britton's not heavily involved sometimes. I'm not a fan of Teague Wilton on the bench. He's 80 minutes or he's nothing. I think there's things that we need to look into, and maybe it does come back to the coaching, to my boy Fitzgibbon. Maybe it comes back to that. I'm not sure. But I'm trying to avoid the freak out because we're still sitting in the top 4. We've got winnable games coming home. I get the feeling, Dan, if they'd won the opening 20 minutes, they would have won this game. So I've probably been more dramatic on your podcast than I wanted to be, but it's out there for everyone to see live. But I kind of just think we need to win, We just need to win and get back on track, because if you can fix up those disgusting 20 minutes, the rest of it's not that bad. You're not chasing your tail. You're not doing Hail Mary stuff. You're doing more fun things like kicking to the corner and making your tackles. That's what you're doing. So there's problems, but I kind of think they're fixable at this stage. Post Tigers, we could talk again.
Oh, mate, if we lose to the Tigers, I'm calling it out. Season's done. And I don't think that's hyperbole. You can't lose to the Tigers and Titans. We've lost to the 3 bottom teams now, Parramatta, the Tigers, and the Titans. Yeah,
that's a weird stat. Like, that's a weird thing. To then go to Melbourne with no players and win and all that sort of stuff. It's a strange year, man. I don't know where we're going to end up, to be perfectly honest. I'm hoping it'll be somewhere fun, but it's a strange year. And I don't know why it's become a strange year. If it's State of Origin, if that's the reason we're going to go with, then I'll stand by my thought every year on State of Origin that it sucks. And all you people that like it can go watch some other 3-game exhibition every year, because it's not for me. It's not for my players. It's just the ridiculous concept that you all get so excited about. My state's better than yours.
Cronulla is favourites. I don't think they've won a game this year, or maybe one. I think we beat the Bulldogs in round 2. I take that back. But as big favourites, we got hammered by Penrith. Parramatta beat us. There was a game where we were favourites that I was like, are you kidding me? And we lost. Tonight, the Dolphins, we were huge favourites at home. I'm going to ask you the question because I don't know. I'm not there. Is there an attitude problem?
No, I don't see it, man. And that's the dead set honest truth. There's no, we're going to win this easy attitude. No way. I don't see it. I'm not there all the time by any means, but we know people that are, and it's nothing like that. And I know it's easy to say that, and people say that. We get heaps of mail about it. Their mental attitude isn't right. They're not taking this, like, we didn't take this team seriously. I don't even know if that exists in the NRL, man. I think it's a thing that the fans kind of want to believe. If you look at that ladder, the teams are so tight from 1 to 17. Like, Souths are still going to make the 8 potentially. You know what I mean? There's no easy there's no easy games, and teams like the Sharks should know this after they go to Leichhardt and get flogged by one of the worst teams that ever existed. So if they took it easy in that game, I couldn't tell you. But I don't think since then they would have taken it easy. I know the coaching staff doesn't. They would be up them all the time. I personally don't think there is one. That's my answer. I don't think there is one. And I see a little bit of them more than some other people do. But, yeah, I don't think. Because if there is, I don't know if I'd call it out directly, but I'd hint enough to let you guys know that there was an attitude problem.
No, that's perfect, mate. Thanks again for jumping on, man. Like I said, this was
Pleasure.
hastily organised. It was
Pleasure.
literally a text. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm pulling
Sorry
over.
for my appearance. I don't normally look like this, you know.
Yeah, mate. No, me neither. But, mate, thank you so much. Make sure you catch a SharkCast. I'll link it in after this. But, Shinazzi,
Appreciate
I
that.
will go to all the things. Thank you so much, mate. I will catch
Thanks,
you soon.
man.
And to all you people back in the Shire, tell your porch lights off because we're coming home with a trophy.